Today is Wednesday, 16th, 2015. Will be good, I do, having this moment in Spanish for a lot of reasons, but for the instant as a real problem we are through, it is necessarily I to do this in English. And I'm going to use, normally, naturally, as well, Hebrew and Hebraics. Now, you know, at this Wednesday 16th, 2015 of this December, yesterday occurred a lot of other things and situations around what we are still coming through, what we already understand and we know which this is. A very similar reality, we're exactly still suffering the same all, and people kidnapped, families kidnapped for the making what naturally in this disgusting land, with a pardon for the who still will remain as ignorant, as manipulated for the reality of this as we still go through, staged for, as delivered as puppet, and others in the condition of aseptically responsible and potential harms and destructions for a lot of other, and a lot of clear conscience snakes with the whole intention and will to make what they are doing every day. It's exactly what this disgusting land, and I'm sorry for who conceits at the reality of good ones or condition for patriotic, and even though determinates to defending what doesn't has defension. Now, I have been yesterday in a nightmare, and it's not the first time I have been through a very stress so long, and ain't nothing like the delusional and delirious and intentional criminal degeneration of these bodies saying symptomatic, meaning psychiatric. Ain't nothing like that. And they are conscious about it, same you and I, is it? Right. Now all through this, and for the clear of this day, happening much relevantly disasters and relevantly problem. While through this, there is the clear fact of what naturally this will forward. And one of the clear facts that is forwarding is have to domain control, suppress, and saying that they domains and commands and everything is at the size, day, and condition of what they delivers and can do. Through reality, and all through this happens much other states and problems. And the natural is exactly they are who they are and we are who we are. The mythomaniac or mythomaniac, disgusting that generates consider of expertises, the whole, the brief list I could rescue were one thing. But the whole is exactly the abomination in person, each of them, which delivers mythomaniacally trained for the trying to instaurating confusion, deflection of attention of reality for whoever and whatever staged for the making what they says got to be done, and intentionally trained for the making any class of attempt crap at the condition of domain control, disgregate, sectorializing, and not only sectorializing, but even though partition of, like we were discussing, social ambient, social stratus, and any class of elemental for this to be working to them. That's what they are around, and to making permanently the generations to me and to us all, so they says they want. And they says they has rights to be me. Theirs. Now, whenever I say they has rights to be me, they tears to saying that I'm the liar because of they will already be me. And so, at the reality of this, I have spent a lifetime suffering shit, sorry the word, the soul, and evangelics, those soul, with the pardon of few victims, after they needed to destroy me and suppress me, and pretending to say that they could take my life and my existence for they to be the gold I exist, and I will be the shit they are. So this culture of the generación sodomita y gomorrita is exactly a lifetime, the bicentenary of this patriot of Sodoma y Gomorra and the generación enferma repodrida, which also Kirchners and Peronistas and Menemistas and dualdistas and holistas shit, like we know, came to taking place in abortionism. Now, while truthers to keep on saying that they are doing the video, while they are not called for nothing except for the wrath, profane, making witchcraft, making teller, the generate Sodom and Gomorrah, sick shit chap, which everyone is, that called expertises, and the sixth generation of evangelics united, armed forces, and out of, saying that they are the ones that announces and I pretend. And all through this happens much other singular, peculiar shits like them. And instaurated by Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, Néstor Kirchner, Aníbal Fernández, Máximo Kirchner, Alicia Kirchner, and the whole Kirchner shit, which are exactly Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, all through this, and for the putting in clear, I will be offending and I should deserve a jail, but I cannot be in jail because of I will have to show to the view a very excuse that they are elaborating. So yesterday I were persecuted a complete day by the Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado Argentino, SIDE, and playing the, I don't know what you say, but this person is announcing things that we don't corroborate and don't have no class of evidential for the putting and saying, alright, we were happening. And for other side I will be delivering, they will be only making the job. And for other side will be demanded by the government of the United States of America, they to chase me up and research what were I doing about supposed delusional liars or being terrorists. And for other side, the government of Israel will be requesting the same to them. And ain't no government of US, ain't no government of Israel asking to this sick shit, Sodom and Gomorrah, nothing at all about our people, Jewish communities and friends, part of us, Mishpach. And neither about me. Now, Betlesen riva ferma sachel giat los sportes vadas sheklakir et sechmacha blevesmons passage la evitat betzirmin. Keller revefech lakia blevespot blevesmons sivantika, sama blekdikan revefech mot, in la tiba blevesospatikem revefim. Slekola revespashe votzika, chalchama blekdikan ravat manat, sama bletiva, svatikan revesmotim. Sleshelokal, leshelevechal, blachalak matlikim barot sapot smita, kala kashel, kel rotim apleves vatlikishmant kratching apleves osplatis pasiv. So suddenly we found out that Klechem aplechivish was anam, and they need to make out the causes that I'm going to present here. So suddenly, Sodom and Gomorrah are the class of a shit that I'm willing to they do die forever and ever after, and they do not come not anymore, which are the soul except for a few, which are suffering. All through this, we were disgustingly suffering things which were not necessarily because of their were needed to holding institutions that they are staging, citing, premeditating, surrounding, and making the whole generations they need for that to look. What did you do? Don't you see we will provide you? You only had to do what we command you. So suddenly we found out that occurred the threats and occurred bombs by Ejército Argentino, sí, de Armada Argentina, Kirchners, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional Argentina, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, and UNASUR, and they don't stop until they dies. So, in the middle of this also, the levers that they complete to making witchcraft to me, saying that they makes national security, and raping and murdering our people, saying that they make enforcement of security. And that can be done. Bedlas and Rabbi Maxim gives on delivering that they makes me do, and they makes the mind control of the supposed divinity, for I will reproduce what they teller perras pretends to say, while I say, saying that they are government and they are allowed, and nothing of me can be allowed but given to them for they to do and to say. While they don't do nothing but rape, murder our people, destroying me, and making the generations and the learning they are gonna be my person, and they will already do what I do. But I will be a deliver shit. But the shit delusional are them, and delivers all the time, like any hell crab of us as how they are. So, and I'm sorry the word and the vulgar again, but matches at the puzzle, and it's exactly what it is. I get it now. So, in the middle of the hole, I'm found disastrous, I'm found tired. And we found that nothing were delivered back. And we found that the evidences are, and Interpol can accuse, to the conspiracy against the government of Argentina, even President Barack Obama, Mr. President Barack Obama, and Mr. Vice President John Biden, and also states bodies with Mr. President Avril Rivlin of Israel. So, all through this, we keep on doing the same, and I will make the advertisement myself and pretending to play important, and the star of the world in the supposed parasite in the world that I wouldn't fit in, or having no part, or not condition, and evangelic wouldn't allow me to be or to exist, which I don't allow them to exist, not even have a body, not breathe, unless which it comes from heaven, and they use or touch what it is from El Chai and its name at all, and beg them, Adonai, to help us to rescue. They are forbidden for the whole and not allowed to exist, to say, to do, to have, to breathe, to walk, to ethical rim at all, and ever after Salah. Now, Betlesen Rabefech Machalki Rabefech Ligis Mosava Blechi Matsimave kept on delivered people, Jewish people, and friends of mine, recognizing the reality and the truth and fighting for rape and murder, and saying that they had to be paid, and announcing they knows the hunger because of the hunger, and he doesn't give no coin. And Lord said, take it aloud and give to the people. Brains, carnivals, and the whole ladroncitas reventadas saliva banda, 144 million. Una anatemia cronocótica de la enfermedad Amavarrat. And it's exactly what they are. So in the middle of this all, delivering that they are authorities, and they will command me and determine what will happen to me and who I will be, that I will have to come just inside of a church, and if I will ever want something of God, only deliver and remit myself in front of the pastors, and the pastors to determine if I will be able for something, and how class of a living I will ever have to have, because if they will ever have to take a position at my place, and having the right things that they were commanded by the what Lord? Degenerados carnívals, brains, cabreras, crudos, anacondias, estemateas, frankstones, playing the patriotic order, and that they don't allow nothing because of fight will cause murder, destruction, and disasters, what they tika marhanim, and which this sick prostitutes of Babel and Sodoma, which are, have caused to me and to us all with the burden of victims, and turn to making the disaster of all times. So this is what happened. There still remains 5 nuclear devices in Commodore P, a little destroyed, but the radiation is insufferable. Right on the back near of the river, here in Buenos Aires, is a retiro place. And at those, because of we said enough, The clear fact of this problem is nobody goes through, and nobody can handle that except me. Or stage bodies, which these are not involved. Now, the reality for this, and the problem we have, the weapon stolen, which were some other that I already delivered, are not around and and I am gonna work with this situation naturally, orders and justice. And all through this, another chargement because of they says they commence and they shows me and shows everybody that they commence and makes worse, were stolen by Ejército Argentino, Gendarmería Nacional, while they were in the United States of America and Europe, making the staging in front of the world's news chains, saying how victims and poor ones they will be, while faced at the reality as state bodies and responsibles and honorables. Real ones were saying enough. Through the same chains at the same moment, while they were staging and manipulating to making robbery. Now that chargement is a complete 86,000 tons chargement that delivers for about worldwide genocide. And the cost of that were 604,208 murdered that Adonai had mercy. And I'm sorry for that. We were in a very disaster. And I'm sorry for that. We were suffering too much, and I am suffering as well. And we had a problem all through, while Mart Naarus turned to proceeding to the making the taking place for that to happen. And Mart Naarus is not a traffic element for, is one of the EDIC, Erhanide, which were always cooperating and giving the support to this degenerates to make what they've done, like Bin Laden, Osama, which were here in Buenos Aires and in Argentina, while through he were alive. Severe times. And covered, of course, by Ejército Argentino, Gendarmería Nacional, Policía Federal Argentina, and SENSTIVES, permanently. And are part of this whole shit, everyone. And are anti-Semitic, Jewish siders, Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's the way I put them to death. Now, the reality of this, my supposed threat delivers into why am I not in jail and I wouldn't be here. And supposedly I am not here making this, but Perras, Sodom and Gomorrah, consider of expertise as Armed Forces and Ministry of Security, Argentina. And it wouldn't happen. Now, the whole of the stage for trying to provide this and forwarding to people making the same work for them. With Evangelics United all covering the shit they do and they are. And destroying our lives with them. So suddenly in the middle of this, there will happen a I will be helping them, they will be victimized, and they will be trying to, making ending, manipulating so much, destroying much others, and promoting and producing the destruction enough, and expecting for this to be clear, for them to proceed and saying, well, this is the truth, and for other side, staging for the whole, and making the chronology of the sickness around what to produce at the day of the opportunistic side, with a speculation for anything around at the possibility they to have what they says got to be, and they to be on feet, showing to the world solemnly like, I'm gonna be over. I'm gonna tell you one thing. There are a lot of victims in the middle of this, and I am really worried and concerned. Really concerned. And it means a lot to me, people, to be rescued. Today, 914,208 families, Jewish and non-Jewish, were delivered into destruction by the whole UNASUR. Because of they said they had a F-word and kill, sacrifice, for they to be strong, for they to make the word, and for them later in America. And we're all deliberately manipulated by Kirchners, Ejército Argentino, Gendarmería Nacional, Policía Federal Argentina would see that all over the world, not only Latin America. Now, in the middle of this all, the judgment were delivered into Golfo de San Borondón, but Bay of San Borondón is exactly the place called by Paul, which is Marina Ejército Argentino base inside Gulf. Right, Black Matlach Mifer Lachmat Lachiniam Blesposisavich Patlakin Ravachmat Sanam. The judgment were with no other but 3 devices that detained in place and under the 10th yet, and that's great. Kerravafech Mia, Ravafech Kavafech Legiri Sotlach Matsev, and Blevis Possibilities, but like Ramachal Sofanim. This Barro de Generados consists to taking anybody's lives, anybody's possessions, anybody's existence, and making whatever abominable shit everyone is for whatever they conceit, them fallacies, whatever words, which are Sodoma y los quiero muertos, and not only I. Now, evangelics, the pa elo prepotegía, elo metosía, there is no gartology or neomatology starting with this fractals class, with the burden of victims. The reality of this delivers into a biologists are absurdly, overwhelmingly about they don't seize the clermaplegmasin, they don't found clermaplegmasin, but the behavior is exactly attached. So suddenly, Rebefekmasechali Gimba Rebefot, Blasima Remabab, and Blavespot Leki Rebespasima Seshvasim. And suddenly we found a black Misacheveshwasen Tlachmatimamim, the Generalito and the Fuerzas Armadas, murdering Jewish and everybody because of cases offense and touched evangelics. And Belra prostitutas turns to saying, because I've touched the anointed Lord. And I'm telling you one thing, if Lord will ever have justification for the plethmic Chaveshvaseligishvasim, and my violence will be the instigation for the world's ever genocide, for the reason of his name and the reality of the Klervachmitzvasenam, is a simplicity. Eladon will be Lucifer. And Lucifer is no God. And thank God Eladon is nothing like that. And will remain ever after. Shalom. Now, Betlesen Rabefech Machaliviat Laki, Rabefech Lochamat Levispot Levismansa Shalom. Gala Rabefech Likar Remaspot Levispatek Hiligishmatech Lachamatim. And Bletika Rabefech Matsam. And suddenly we found out a Bletika Rabefech Masero Plovespaselivishmasenim. And I'm going to tell certain terms in Spanish, and Gomorra are going to say, nosotros inventamos y diseñamos esa palabra. So suddenly we found out these words. Decloetronesimiseria is not a word compound for no morphology. But if I tell you, neocreotinomesidia, Datseloerophisiria, Dimeometroteriria, Crasenoterosidia, Ephenocerotosis, Meotenomasteotelososis, Cremitometolanotosis, Hermositometosis, which is not for beautiful hermosos, love, Kerosenotitosis. And that is in English. Carotenosis. Or you have an idea, similar everyone anyway, but the right end. Why this? At the first ever, we concerned, you have belief, but the belief is not your life. The belief compounds the reality as you go through life. and the belief so often is an engine for you to proceed in life. The situation is, the belief doesn't generate and produces reality, but companions at the reality itself, which goes through and shows itself, so you understand, oh, at the effects of this, too much hocus pocus, especially at the deflection and abduction and healing and corrupting, delivers into belief, which doesn't companions no reality, but a very staged hocus pocus manipulation element over elements that are called official because of shown power. And neokretonellotosis is exactly that. Gerravet fehmin sakle kirravet fohmat sable bits matiable forraves patlekin raves masishar le atlekin ravet fehmat sibable sosim. They swears that I am not allowed by God, that I will rob to God my voice, my existence, my everything, the spirit. I will be making teller. Nothing like I do will be of the God himself. I will live on watching porn. I will live on making prostitution and homosexuality actions, and I will proceed at the permanently cheating the people and making any class of staging and disasters and delivering. I will be extortion and sending my people for that to happen. For the reality of this, to either transit about the supposed need in front of the whole of the world to watching me, that I will ever cannot resist to need to having sex with men in public places and with uniforms, and I will be totally deliberately nervous and with angers and with the violence because of what I couldn't do because of the world will be watching me at the reality that I would ever demand the attention of the world, for the world to understand me like the core of them need, and them need like the core of the reality, for this to be all the supposed chronogram for a beast. And I will manifest while they will manifest the supposed authority of the Lord, while the only thing like they do is Mandavat, Anaraf, and Masera, which is Lucifer, every one of them. But the pardon of victims. You understand what I say? So in the middle of this, they says that I wear this whole night, and already assembled photos on this, making sex with the military lyceum in Buenos Aires, in Palermo, with Prefectura Naval Argentina, supposed to my bodies, and with Policía Federal Argentina, 96 men over severe supposed police stations, which pretends to be, with the pardon of you, and chiefs, and the whole in the plechma secheli gishvasim overall, fachina, making the grand false journey like an nymph, and the whole night. And I will ever have to be internated because of the video that I couldn't upload yet. The second I done singing with my Grand Prime, Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime that I will rob, also with the, I lost my micro SIM of the line that I requested a new one, and the same day at night I called to MISPROPER Corporation and I denounced it were lost by me. And in the middle of this whole thing, that also the line I wrote, that Lord never allowed me to have nothing and to be nothing, and I should ever pay them for the damages. And they stolen $984 million and shared one each other with Policía Federal Argentina, with CIDE, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Aníbal Fernández, and Kirchner, to my person and to Jewish, and keeps on coming to attack and robbing the Jewish, saying that they were robbed, and telling that I robbed them and I don't work and I don't do what they says got to do. My person about supposedly Lord tell them, and tells them that supposedly my friends will ever help me to rob, and also that the reality of the rob to pray unto them, that I will transit about to the money I will hide in this land, but gives the version that I will have it out of the land, that I cannot transit with not being discovered. But even though the reality of I am living off the money that my mother gives me while they keeps on robbing my chops, my mail master's letters with documents of United States of America, I citizen, with documents of license office, I citizen. Israel couldn't send me this time, it's true, for the reason of the problems we are having and accused to making conspiracy and terrorism against the state of Argentina and Sur. Perros degenerados todavía tienen cara perras enfermas. And in the middle of this all, what international court of justice, as documents, as orders, justice judicial orders, plane tickets, credit cards for my needs, for I to come to having at the whatever my normal go through spending need for budgets, for self-affordable, sustainable capacity. And telling that is all lie, that I cannot be me, that will be sent to Sodoma y Gomorra, Policía Federal Argentina, pretender of expertises and Kirchners and United Evangelics, for they to take place, that they will be me. There's to keep on saying that I wrote them videos and used that video that I couldn't upload yet, which already forged, saying that they will switch out while I will be uploading with them bodies of Náutica Cybers and Telecentro, Sociedad Anónima obstructing and making the lazy shit that they are part of. And in all of the places I've been yesterday trying to do, it were exactly the same. Well, how is this? There is a network of Bolivians here in Buenos Aires, and I were coming there because of, until the moment we're all okay. But they turned to being accomplices and intentionally cut my networks for Policía Federal Argentina, started to say that were felony Iliampu services net at Rivadavia 8193, saying that there were felony, informatic felony by my person, one video that supposedly will be of Policía Federal Argentina, to saying that it were them. And juzgados federales consider of juzgados, Buenos Aires, Comodoro Pi, todos, everyone, telling that it were of them, and oh, cut the rehearsal, did you rehearsal? So we show it with us studying. Every perra de cuarta making exactly the same, and pretender of offense. Criminales de cuarta, Sodoma y Gomorra, perras, and forgive me the violence, already I have enough. So, to making Jewish side and saying that AMI Argentina with government of Israel and license office, International Criminal Code, with this old situation, and I will rob them that. And they had right to kidnap, rape and kill, and taking position, and taking the others' lives and belongings, especially Jewish, and the land of Israel. Saying that one video will prove, the rest all will be exactly them, and we will be doing that. Now this is the reality. Evangelics supporting, saying that the land of Israel were given by the Lord to them. And the Lord of them is Lucifer, and Lucifer doesn't keep switches of Adonai. And this pagan profane, prostitutas de cuarta, criminales, ladroncitos reventados with the pardon of victims, are gonna go to hell with them, papi del infierno, Lucifer, which they call Lord, and pretends to calling like El Chai. Profaning what Adonai never gave them, and robbing us, and murdering us, and destroying us every day. Now, at the reality of this, I will be the task for attacking Jewish, but them instigatively, permanently, and instigatively with Sodom and Gomorrah, telling them that Sodom and Gomorrah will be coming to me with my whole virtue, my whole capacity, my whole reality, for not only I will be destroyed, but they too domain control and having the daily osady for the taking positions and my wells, my chops, my everything, and even money, for they to say that they will serve the Lord by making brothels of perros degenerados prostitutos and all the generating criminal that they have within, making market and business for them, which any other are. But for few victims. So what the reality of this will be the Antichrist, because of fame rising against Babylonia, anathema, ciudades Sodom y Gomorrah, which are, with them expertises, Sodom y Gomorrah, and them Fuerzas Armadas, y Gobierno Nacional de la República Argentina que el Señor puso, except for the victims, the real ones that they sent to murder. Because of them, Lord is Lucifer. And that's the way it will remain. Shaddai. So all through the reality, what will I say? Am I instigating for the murder of my people, for the rape of my people? Am I sending them to I have a backstaging like Luciano Droviano have been doing permanently? Am I being the demon son of that? And this demon son of up is going to be coming to me. Is that alive still? And maricas degenerados over the word, ejército argentino, y perras abominadas are going to take my place, and are going to do what I do, and are going to be me. And I need medications. Well, like I said, all I done, and they reproduces what I done after to saying that that will be the proof that they done it. After rehearsal and pretending, oh no, because if I made it the part of tenor, I made it the part of bass, and I made it the part of the whole of the baritone, and I made it the part of the soprano. And I'm not doing what I done! Don't you see? So I done. Oh no, that is not true. I done and he copied me. The whole of you. Of course. How possibly? Now, Claire Rebefek Manseja Livia Plecaja Jasmin. Da pendeja diabla del infierno, hell she outsows, shit devils, is exactly the class of S. Delusionally instaurates and institutes, degenerates and liars and criminals and mythomaniac criminals, sick degenerados abominados, and with the story of, do you believe mind control witchcraft is possible? The evangelics says in the name of Jesus and happens it all. And that will become them an expertise of the whole spiritual, and they will say who will be God and who will not, and who will be allowed. And the whole delusional shit, the sick, the generation that they uses and needs, matches all over. And the stupidly ignorance of a lot delivers into the mattress. And the sick opportunistic sense of B-word are the whole of the market. And it's normal in this sick shit of a land. Every day that be. And I will be the meat. Now, and only Evangelics comes to be the clever effect me out like a top like a babla belly as levis matlaki roman blevis fachaliki with matseva blanki roman massiva blevis was a mesh flakinam. Galarava fachalaki and rubber fold blevis was a bilia blevis band clactica. Galarava fachlahats ma blevis ospatica magramasim. Calabi ravis was massiva show. Galarava fech machalviat blevis patliki vishmotimaki. Karchava klech miyam plevespot levespasel ishmot vaklikacham atnamasmor. Who will say that? Shkalagi ravefech masech libiyam plevespot kivaspot lemisman shamasha. Galaki ravefech halechava plevesmot levispartika rafaspat levismot seshpa antlaktikam. Gal ravefech halaki masech uba plevespot levismin maspat levis in sheva shpatikam. So, they are all around saying that I wouldn't be of God for the severe of the whatever allegations they concede they can do. And they can determinately say. And one of those will be that I don't work because of God will work and they will work. and they are permanently at the hunting all around whoever to provide me the reality of the work. And they says, no, because of here got together, using the faith and coming to the acquiring a job and showing that is of the Lord. What are those fruits that he shows and has? And organizing each stage that generates to domaining and controlling the same class of staging, big word, perra infernal, what they need to be. So in the middle of this spell of the generadas babilónicas and prostitutas sodomitas, profaning what Adonai never gave them, and promoting for Jewish side, instigating for rapes, murders, and destruction of my person, saying that una prostituta víbora con una bruja y una evangélica diciendo que se te transfiere, que se te venga, quédate con su vida, will be making them be coming to me, which never happens in one. And in the middle of this all, destroying my life and destroying us all, to saying that they will ever at last take in the place, and using mockery to saying that at last will be discovered that I will rob to brain to carnival, and while I announcing I will be manipulating because if I will be masking, staging and lying, and I will have accomplices like Mr. President Barack Obama, Avril Lavigne, Mrs. President Merkant, Mr. President Darmag, and Schlubel, and like them, much older. And Mr. Vice President Biden, Mr. Vice President Birin. For the truth and all through this, telling also that I will be hiding and I will have the whole of my friends, criminals, supporting me and hiding what I will crime too. And I will even murdering evangelics all around, and that would give the symptomatic that I will be a demon. So in the middle of this all, International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice will be the emporium of the hell. And the emporium of the hell will be nothing but the disgusting clear fact of a blechery bachmatzi bopleki rafechmatsama bleki vaspitz vasheva. And how can that possibly be? But listen, Rabefech Machalveti and Rabefach Levispad and Maspach Legishbet Machlachmat and Levispes Lishpatziba. Sure. Kel Rabefech Mansech Legin Rabefech Levispot Lemasevam. Kel Rivet Laki Rabefech Lahamatzvat Levisposhvat, Kel Rabefech Hatzvat Lekimasab Levispot Veseshel. And my violence ain't no living because of my meditate suffering this. And also further threats, or not threats, they destroyed me at the point that I will just setting a breeze of a fly, like agony of every one of them altogether. Kel Rabbe Fechman Sechalikin Rabbe Foch Balaktika, Anse Bablevis Master Shal Hamab, Alkir Rabbe Fechla Habas Master Bibliat Levis Vaseshel. Supposedly they will be controlling for there to not be no more murder. That Lord doesn't want murder but Satan, and I never seen no God. El Chai pretending to saving Lucifer and any that generate abominable shit when he said, no Sodomaki, no Gomorrua, no Gomorreke, no Ramavum, no Feluatu, no Shanakleko, no Ramabetok, no Chemopita, no Shletumatuva. Shlutai manama shekulam, Babel, not beborrebotam, not imashemusha, which are the profaned again anathema, like bechlakimasim, pretending of Palam even. And no emboanima ramabatov, which is exactly the soul, will ever not coming inside my kingdom. And Adonai understands whenever that is told that they are profaning and pretending by the way of Lucifer. And that is what this evangelics dedicates all the time. With mythomaniac, intentional, conscious ways and manipulating and staging like Sodom and Gomorrah. Make the prayer upon me, make the stage so I behave like and everybody sees me natural. Bedlesen Rabafech Masika la Rabafech Halchamatsevo Plavasvati Vasfe. And Glerhamachava Plevsma. and telling that I wouldn't care for the people that is suffering, and I wouldn't care. No help. But the reality is, I keep here and get stolen and raped and murdered because of they says it's them. Because of that cave. And this perro de cuarta won't have my life and my patrimony, which as justice and right acquired by right making and by law for right truth. As events of less humanity I came on suffering since my fight, to a bunch of prostitutas reventadas, criminales judicidas, evangelistas with title of I command, with perras Kirchners y perras Sodoma y Gomorra, armed forces ejército argentino, en una sur. For they to make the grand market of I have no money, I have look at me, Lord, diablo reventada, ladrona, prostituta baja, criminal de cuarta. Rembo plech masika lever heaven blivas pable desmatla kima hamabad, amble despatlechimi amble despasishen. And keeps on stealing to my people and to our people, saying, le hicimos todo lo que le estaban dando, ¿vieron? Y nos pagan, porque la Presidenta de la República va a sacarle todo porque se probó que nos dañó y que nos roba. Fuimos nosotras lo que hicimos todo. Y los evangelistas, sí, claro. Forgive me the neurosis. I'm sorry. So this circus of degenerados, pretense of law, and nothing of that ever happened, don't you see? And we made them fall yesterday on the screens, and we showed that they were conspiring against us and saying lies and forging. We are showing you the truth, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna kill you. Ejército argentino es una marejada de estos degenerados, and that's the way they die. And tazos reventados violentos consider being patriotic in homeland, and are formated to being sick shit ever after, and no one will go over it. And the rest of the bodies ofended a los militares argentinos en el emblema are worse. Grama plech masech aligiri rabe foch matseba blavas pasada, en klekima rama plech masiva plach apat sebada. And victims, I'm gonna help, but shit, go to hell. Rema plech masech aligiople vesfas shed, inkal klema rama sima. And if I desire so much, what is what I got to pay for what damages? HTTPS www DDR-CMTD MCMDMT FI4 I5 DCBAT DCBAT DCMTRT and CPITBN Carbactom Carmanati Kamapletakam Middle Corbetom Adbletamacam Middle DRMC 538444141481388 Fatak Mantkov 8413 Middle CS, middle ODRMT, middle ID 55.NT, systems recall 5. Last tools works perfectly. And I'm sparing my violence and I'm tired. I'm telling you one thing. Your honors asked me to do another video with the current crime, and this already tells shit knows. And I'm gonna make it right here. And they says that I'm gonna rob them. And they will proceed to making the same, and I have one day to die, and I'm gonna make them die. And this doesn't become me into a criminal, but justice for what I'm with. And that's what it's gonna happen. So sadly, I'm gonna keep this for now at this Wednesday, 16th December 2015, which now is for about 10:20 in Buenos Aires around. And